not enough.
What happens is we get brought to court and we say this gives us the right to automatically assess the lien. But judge would have to,
Let's call it over. Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. And certainly want to thank everyone for coming tonight. We've got a fairly short agenda, but we do appreciate you being here. So we're going to have our Pledge of Allegiance, and then Rodney's going to give our invocation. So let's go ahead and have a Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll lead us in that.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's great. Heavenly Father, we are thankful for all the blessings you blessed us with. We're thankful, dear Lord, that this mayor and council and their willingness to serve our community. Lord, we ask you to be thy will. Bless the mayor and council as they make the decisions. Be with them as they make them. Dear Lord, bless our city. May it prosper. And may we look to you for leadership and guidance. These many blessings and favors we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you, Rodney. Appreciate that. First item on the agenda is a recommendation to approve the minutes from our last meeting on November 2nd. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Lynn, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Scott, on number 2 is a recommendation for the City of Hamilton to enter into an agreement with local government services with telecommunications franchise advisory service to collect franchise fees owed to the city from CenturyTel. Can you explain this agreement that council has before them and the reason we need to possibly go into this?
Yes, sir. This company has helped several municipalities within the Southeast and specifically Alabama, locally, Hannibal and Ewan. And I spoke to both of their city clerks last week, and they're extremely happy with the services provided. What this company does is they get with CenturyTel, and we passed an ordinance several years ago with CenturyTel, and to date, I don't think they've paid anything. They've had good success with getting CenturyTel and working with CenturyTel and getting an agreement that's good with everyone to get paid. I don't know exactly how much we would get, but he estimates it's going to be between 35 and 40 based upon cities with similar populations. It's a one-time payment of $3,000 to the company.
I think it's worth the one-time payment to get, if they can collect the fees for us, because evidently we haven't been able to get it. I know we've asked.
Yeah,
You've asked. You've sent letters.
And had many conversations with him. He's got the relationship with certain ones there, and we may end up changing our ordinance to be something that CenturyTel will agree to as well, which they've never signed off on with the ordinance we currently have. But that'll be a good first step, and he'll help us with that. But we should be able to expect it pretty soon. Deborah Hood, payable. I spoke to her last week. She said it happened pretty quickly, and they get it on a monthly basis. They get about $3,000 a month.
That's good. I mean, we get them from the cable company, we get them Alabama Power. So this is due the city, and it's due every city.
It's never come in?
Say, how long has it been since we're...
I know that.
2000. This goes back to the 2009 ordinance.
Well, I know that when Jan was here before she retired, we tried for months and months and months, and it's just, this company does this, so I think if they have better success at getting it, I think we need to let them contract with them to see if they can get it.
We're not asking for any back, just,
Scott, do you know if it go back any, or is it just?
I think that's going to be part of the conversation.
Okay.
Just try to get what's been due since 2009.
I think it's worth
at least
pursuing.
2010 when they were definitely on those.
Well, how much have they owed since 2010?
There's no way for us to know.
The formula such that we wouldn't know? Or?
Yeah, we'd have to have their customer information.
Steve, I think it's charged to the customers probably on their bill. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not familiar with how we pay our bills, phone bills, but I think there is a charge on your phone for franchise fees, probably.
Yeah, I get it.
Nancy,
And
look at
I'll
it
look,
closer, Francis. Do you see it?
I'm sure it is, there's a whole list of them, but I will,
And that's what we'd have to just sort of guesstimate. That's where you guesstimate based on our population. We'd have 35 to 40.
They have 40,000 in a year?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's not as near as many landlines as there once was either, so I'm not sure how that affect the franchise fees. May not be as much now as it would have been, 5 or 10 years ago.
This would only be,
So they ain't gonna pay it.
It's extensive conversations about different levels of. we talk about it.
but this is only about telephone. I mean, they do cable and, internet rather, and things like that. This is only about charging what they charge for telephones.
Yeah, only thing that we can charge a franchise on it, which is using our basic right away for their lines, whatever. But if it's wireless stuff, that's not using our.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel confident we would do it. Would there be an agreement, a recommendation to approve this agreement to see if we can get these franchise fees collected?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, William, thank you. There'll be a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Tammy, thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Maybe we can get this sent to them as quick as possible. This time, Andrew, I know you and I have talked pretty much every day for the last several weeks, and you've been sending updates to the mayor and council, but I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you have the floor and tell us update on the city hall and any other projects we may have going on.
I will give you an update on the progress at City Hall. The roof is scheduled for final inspection Tuesday, November 24th. That's when Carlisle's reps will be here to walk the roof, and then whoever on the council that might want to go up there will be allowed to go up there and look at what they've done up there, and that's when they will give you the roof warranty for 20 years, and the project will be closed out. Elevator repairs are complete. The city will need to provide a phone line to the south elevator and make sure that the fire alarm is connected properly. That is the only thing left to do on the elevator before it's operational and passes the state inspection. The construction documents for both architectural, structural, mechanical, and electrical should be complete by mid-December, if not before that, with the holidays and everything, and I'm looking to bid the project mid-January. So we'll advertise and then bid after that. I've been working on a budget for different aspects of the project at the new City Hall, and I have some numbers if you'd like.
Okay.
I'll go over them.
Sure.
On the exterior, to tar and seal coat the pavement, remove and replace about 1,000 square feet of pavement, striping, and that part alone would be about $12,400. The exterior lighting, if we retrofit those 15 exterior pole lights and the 5 floodlights, retrofit those with LED, that would be about $7,000 to retrofit that. The interior, the numbers on that, we have some interior lighting retrofits for $24,000, and I know that may sound expensive, but as we did the study with Alabama Power, and retrofitting to LED is a cost savings over the long haul. So if you want to look at that in more detail, we can, but I'm also checking some prices for different fixtures and seeing that we get a good replacement for approximately 90 can lights, and I think there's 24 2x4 fixtures and that sort of thing. So that was one area that we can save on the energy bill for you monthly. Then there is also the interior demo, which primarily is around making it ADA accessible. I think that area alone is going to be about $20,000 to open the doorways, to make them a minimum of 34 inches, and to provide the wheelchair accessibility.
Andrew, as we go through this, tell them the doorways that we're talking about is going from the old part to the new part.
Yes.
There's pretty narrow right there. It's not wide enough for
No, it's like
wheelchair
2'4". I think one of the openings, and the other's like 2'6" or something. It's not to code, and there's some other obstructions that we're looking into. Maybe putting a beam up and letting it be open instead of having a column right in the middle where you can go freely between the old house and the new. And that's what I brought a picture that Carrie Bolton was kind enough to share with us some old photographs of the house. And that is something I thought the council would like to see. We are going to be given the piano, I think, to use in the house. And some of the other items that you see in this photograph are going to be donated to the city if they want to use it in the historical room. The other area are floor finishes. We have carpet, we have wood, and approximately that would be about $17,000 on the first floor and $10,000 worth of hard surfaces and $18,000 on the second floor. And these numbers, I'm still working on different carpets for different pricing, and so that'll change. But I was trying to come up with an overall budget for the whole project, and given the demo, the floor coverings, the new construction that'll be around the council room, I think about $150,000 to $175,000 is a good budget number for that. And as we get closer, we can be looking at line items and seeing if there's anything we want to take out or change. We are keeping the floor coverings in the restrooms, all the restrooms, and in the areas that have VCT tile. All of that's going to remain. We're just removing the carpet that was basically, had not been adhered properly. And so that floor is going to have to be sealed, sanded, sealed, and re-skim coated to place the carpet on it. So there's going to be some prep work where that carpet was not installed properly on the first. So I think that pretty much covers the scope of the work inside.
the painting bid was awarded a few weeks ago.
Oh,
They're
that's
probably
true.
going to start mid-December.
So that would be, that is
Then
included.
the outside be completed.
That's right. And that is included in the 150 to 175 total.
So that includes everything.
I think that's a
The
good.
paintings in this?
It is.
Is the interior painting too?
It should be.
And you're going to have something for us, hopefully we can, for contractors to be able to look at mid-December,
Mid-December.
and we can open the bids and we'll award it in mid-January. That's what you're saying.
Mhm.
So we're not bidding in January, we may be awarding bids by then, hopefully.
Right. I talked with several people and they felt that bids would come in at a better price after the holidays. And because it's an interior job, you'll be, it'll be an advantage to contractors to have something on the interior. They kind of start winding down between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you might not get the best numbers at that time.
You would open up the bidding again,
Mid-January.
open it up in January.
Awarded in January.
Can you, Andrew, what do you got, while we're still on that
Okay.
thing, explain maybe about the water department in that, what we're going to be doing there, and maybe what's upstairs, what we're closing and making for the possible council changes up there.
The changes as far as construction are, there's going to be a wall, if you know where the teller department is, downstairs and the drive-through windows are. The water department will use the majority of that area, and they will use the drive-through. And then there'll be a walk-up payment window, handicap and walk-up for the water department. And the cable department will have an office and a walk-up area to pay there too. And theirs will be to the side and it won't have access to the drive-through, but they will have a drop-off. So if you want to pay your bill in the drive-through, you can go through and drop it off in the drop-box. So that's that. That's all of the new construction downstairs. On the first floor, the two openings we talked about will be widened and a column may be moved to help allow ADA access. The other construction will be upstairs. They'll enclose one of the atriums that's closest to the drive-through, put a floor there, and that will become the council room, like what we have here, but it will be smaller. And that will be where the council desk is. So there will be 3 new walls to enclose that room over where that atrium area was. The new skylights are in. There's still 6 skylights as there was before. And that'll provide natural lighting. Then in the, as you go into the old house on the second floor, there was no wheelchair access. There was no floor that you could get into the old house from the second floor. So a window will be modified to provide an access into Amy's office to see the mayor, and then there will be circulation around that. That's the complete scope of the work.
Are still maintaining that the main entrance will be on the south side?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the north side will be for employees and so on and so forth.
It will be open, but the primary entrance will be on the south side. And that's where the wheelchair ramp is already. And there'll be an automatic door opener there. And hardware will be replaced on all the doors to provide access that,
I think the automatic door opener will help. People can just push a button and the door's open for you. For anybody that has even if you're not in a wheelchair, you might be able to pull those doors back with a strong door closing rules.
and that's the side the handicap parking will be located on there.
The house itself, the historic house, will be used for functions. It won't be for day-to-day.
On the first floor, the living area, which is in this picture, will be primarily a historical room that can be used by the public, rented for a function or a meeting. And there's another room that's adjacent to that is more like has an area for food that can be served, a water sink, and then on the first floor in the historic home, Rodney's office will be there, the water department's office, and then upstairs will be Amy's office in the historic part, the mayor's office, and the conference room that was there will remain unchanged. So,
And the city clerk.
and Angela's office will be in the new part, over
Right,
near
yeah.
the teller on the second
Yeah.
floor. And there will be a monitor in the first floor area that will help direct people, help them find their way, and we'll have signage, and so I think it'll be pretty evident and easy to
And
find.
elevators can always be used. You don't have to use
And
the
both
stairs.
elevators will be operating.
Now, one of the stairs, Andrew, Mike can explain, is have to be some sheetrock added for fire wall safety. You know,
That's
that'd be
right.
part of the construction, but you go ahead and tell that too.
We're able to use both the monumental staircase and the enclosed staircase for fire exit. And to do that, we're going to have to kind of beef up and ensure that that one stairwell is fire rated in its entirety. So there's going to be a little work there.
And you've had no problems out of historical, state
No,
historical?
ma'am. They were in agreement with everything we've done, or that I talked through with them, and we're pleased.
The council room, and we sort of know percentage-wise, if you compare this with the room where the council will be, that includes where they sit, about how much smaller? 50%, 40%, rough?
Maybe 40%. It's a little narrow, more narrow than this room, and not maybe 3/4 as long. So it's going to be a little different shape.
Roughly about 40% size of this room.
We'll save you a seat, Amy.
Yeah. Everybody gets close together.
Well, but there'll be less seating for the public, but There'll be.
If we had a bigger event, we can always come here.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we don't have a real big crowd for council meetings, and that won't be a problem. But if we knew we're having a big crowd, we can always come here. I mean, this
They're
is not
gonna
going to
have to
change.
sit closer together, I'm afraid.
You know, we might be closer.
It'll be a new dais.
Yes.
But Andrew's done an outstanding job on it. I know it's taking time, but it's a lot of work to it. I mean, you've got structural engineer, and everything's going to be done to code. She knows every code there is, and she checks up on it and makes sure everything's done correctly. So, hopefully. And anytime the council wants to go up there and meet me or Andrew anytime, we'll kind of take you through it and show you what we're talking about.
This is an example of the retrofit for the can lighting and the troffers and how they would look if we retrofit the 2x4 fixtures. I was going to let the council pass that around, let them see that. That'll be an energy savings for everybody.
And we've also had somebody look at the heating and cooling units. I think they can be upgraded. There may need to be one or two replaced, but we think so far with the commercial heating and cooling guy that looked at it, thinks we can get them going. Because some of them has been replaced. They're all not. How old was one? Was it we built onto in the 90s, about 17 years?
Right.
So most of the units are all 17 years old. Some of them are not. But we think they can get us going for a while. I might have to replace all the units because that'd be really, really expensive.
There are 10 units.
There's 10 heat cooling units.
10 heating and cooling.
And we feel like most of those are in pretty good shape. They just need upgrading.
What about, you talking about changing the lights for energy savings? I mean, are you thinking you can save 10% or something?
I don't know percentage-wise, I can get back to you on that and see
But there likely to be some energy savings.
a tremendous amount.
And that is-
The ones that are being used presently are really the ones that use a lot of energy. The
And we had
fluorescent,
somebody from
compact
Alabama Power
fluorescent.
come and went through the whole building and gave us the suggestions. And
Alabama Power went, did
Yes,
this.
they did an energy saving audit for us.
So
And gave us their recommendations.
So you're going by their recommendations.
I said it was a lady, wasn't she, Jasper, and we met down there.
You can go to the next part.
Would you like that?
If you got the floor, we'll let you keep talking.
Okay, I was asked to look into the possibility of the senior center at the recreation facility being enlarged by removing 2 walls in the hallway, and that would just be extending the room the full length of that building at that end. And I have a preliminary floor plan I've given the council, and I've gotten some preliminary budget numbers for that work to be done. And that would be about $45,000 to $55,000 for those 2 walls to be removed, the ceiling grid to be reworked to be continuous. The floor tile would not be disturbed, it would just be infilled, and there would be a new exterior door added with a corridor that would have to be provided, and an exterior stoop on concrete steps and a canopy over that. So that, and the floor plan also shows 2 closets for storage that could be provided, or they could be, I just put those there in case they were in need of storage. So they can be taken out as well. The plan also includes some other improvements that were thought about, and that is a bus drop-off canopy for the senior center. They primarily use the entrance to come and go, and the plan shows a bus drop-off area and reworking the present ramp to meet code and to be covered for an entry there. And that
Because you said as it exists now, it does not meet code. And then you did mention already about the new access door
Yes, ma'am.
on the front.
on the exit, yes. And And this, also, they were in need of the front door hardware is not compliant with ADA, and the two in hallways, the doors are in need of replacement. They're original doors, much like what you have there, and with the push down lever exit, and a lot of that is not operational right now, so they're in very much need of that. So there's some different areas that need work as well as the senior center.
Well, the front glass doors is entrance now is original also, and they're not. I know they've been worked on dozens of times because I've worked on them years and years ago. That's part of the replacement too. Isn't
You
it?
included those, the front doors and the end doors
That
into that
does not
front?
include one end door or the front door. That just includes the one end door
Where they're at now.
with
On
the
the
senior
west end.
center. And so, I can get budget numbers for all of that if you want. I didn't know, the scope of work, that's what needs to be defined, and then we can come up with that budget. And I also reviewed parking, and you need to provide a certain number of ADA parking spaces, and that grade can't be more than 2%, and a lot of that is sloping around the rec center. And so I also provided a site plan that shows where they can have parking for ADA access.
Is that included in the figure?
No, it's just for master planning and what is needed to comply. But that's about the scope of that one. Did you have any questions after looking at the senior center and what was being done there?
But it gives them quite a bit more room than what they've got now.
It basically doubles their room because the center line is on the one wall that has a column that will remain, and then the hallway in the Girl Scout room is on the other side, and so that basically is doubling what they use now. And they have how many people attend? Is it 50?
Close to.
50? So it'd be a great addition. I would. I was also asked about a splash pad opportunity for the city. They have asked me to look at the nature trail area where they purchased some property, I think you call it the High Garden. And the scope of this project is to increase the parking for the ball fields. They basically park there anyway without a parking lot on the grass. And we were hoping to double it. I think there's 100 plus parking on the west side. And the plan I've shown shows an addition of 70 parking spots, and also an area for a playground and a splash pad. The splash pad is something that many cities are doing because the expense of keeping a pool and all of that goes with that is just too much, and so they're providing splash pads for summer enjoyment. It's also a way to provide some income would be to rent a pavilion. There would be a pavilion with restrooms, and that would also help to pay for chemicals if you choose to do a recycling system. There's two options. You can have a runoff system with a splash pad or a recycling system. And the runoff system can go back into the ground, or it can be repurposed into irrigation. But you use a lot of water, almost 4 million gallons in 3 months' time. So
So that's a lot of water.
so that's one of the reasons the recycling, it's more like you treat it,
Like a
there's
regular
filters,
swimming
and you just reuse the water. They say it has a better temperature than the runoff systems for children to play in. And this plan also shows the trailhead for the walking path, and there could be an additional playground. Here, there was some interest in providing some structure, playground equipment near the ball fields and near the nature walking trail. So, the structures
Pavilion would
here,
have restrooms
the
too.
pavilion would have restrooms, and then I'm showing the mechanical room for the splash pad as separate building, but it could be included in the main pavilion. And an additional pavilion could be rented for parties, and that the schedule of the splash pad would need to be established, and you can have parties from 8 to 10 in the morning, and from 5 to 7 in the evening in the summertime, and so it's very popular in communities to do that. But the 70 parking spaces would be the additional parking, and there would be a service road access here. Right now, they have to get back here to service the ball fields and that sort of thing, so there would be access left for that. This is, I've spoken with ARC, it's Aquatic Recreation Company, and they are skilled in the different structures that go on the playground. There's a catalog that we can look at to decide what structures are provided, and so there are several companies that do this, and this is some information I wanted to leave with you about this typical splash pad construction, the different options for the circulation. They're just, and I think several communities in the area have splash pads. I'm not sure if they're runoff or recirculating.
Now, Andrew, I know Fulton has one, Carbondale has one, Vernon's building one. They're going up everywhere, and it's like you said, a lot of cities can't afford to build a big swimming pool and water park. These are something that kids can do. There's really usually no charge. They use it unless you rent it for a party, and they're extremely popular.
Well,
And that'd be a good location with all the tournaments and golf things that goes on during the summer over there, with additional parking that we know we need for the property already. And the playground, we've been mentioned several times about the playground we have. We could keep that or upgrade it, or also have another one up there at the separate party, at the separate property.
Would that playground area possibly have some disabled equipment for disabled kids?
Yes, it would be also ADA, and the material on the ground would be, we'd have to change it and make sure that what kind was that?
rubber mulch.
Rubber mulch, and then the areas, some concrete areas we'd have to have for the equipment for the ADA would be concrete pads, I think, wouldn't it? Where they could be included.
Andrea, this splash pad, just I estimate how many kids could get on there at one time?
I don't know. I was looking at the area being 45 by 65, and that's for ages 2 through 12. So it provides an area. That's a good question. I'll have to go back and see. But you do have an upper limit. You have to control kind of. You may have to have. We will have a fence around it, and there will be some monitoring required daily. The chemicals would be checked twice a day, and so there would need to be some supervision provided. So that I've been told that if you have a really good splash pad, they will come from all over, and you may have a crowd problem. So we would have to address that then.
Is that about the size of the average splash pad for a community this size? Or
I
what would
think
you?
so. I think it's maybe medium. It's a little larger than some that I've seen in areas, cities. So it's providing a little older age group included, not just the toddler. So I think it's that size would provide a little more variety, and they encourage you to interchange your structure or provide for expansion, so that it changes in the, from summer to summer.
Is there a cost estimate for this?
I do have a cost estimate. For this size that I'm talking about would be about $250,000 with a recirculating system. And the recirculating system adds about $80,000 to $100,000 to the system. So that's, and it requires a 5-foot concrete apron around the perimeter. And that helps keep access and debris, that sort of thing.
Andrew, I know you and Lynn have looked at the property together, and there's enough space for a splash pad, playground, and parking
There it is.
at that location.
How many acres, would it take an acre, 2 acres?
I don't know about acres.
Is that 250 the whole thing or just a splash pad?
Yeah, I wondered that too. Was
That
that,
would be just the splash pad, the recirculating equipment, and it would be all inclusive. That
so
would be
it did include the
$250.
recirculation?
That'd be the construction and everything of that pad.
Not the
Not the pavilion and not the playground, and not any parking improvements. So that would be, I mentioned in your letter, the parking could be something other than asphalt and concrete except for handicap accessible parking. It could be ideal to be concrete parking everywhere, but as it is now, there's crushed stone in the existing walking trail parking lot. And I'm not sure what's in the opposite parking lot. Is it slab?
Yeah, tar.
But this cost estimate is just the splash pad and the recirculating system.
That's right.
And then all the others are
That would be additional.
just.
And the splash pad would be smaller, but if you go smaller, it limits you to the number of children and the ages usually. You don't want older children playing close to them. There are smaller systems. This would be considered a medium size from what I've seen. So there are smaller splash pads. Any questions?
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, all the work you've done so far and all the updates you give us, keeping us informed of what's going on. Really do appreciate it. As we move forward, if the council wants to, and feel comfortable with the amendment on the 497, Scott, you want to explain that? If you don't want to do it tonight, we just won't do it. You're asking meeting's over anyway.
Basically, the amendment would allow for an immediate lien to be placed on the property if the city has to come in and clean the property up. Currently, we provide an ordinance for that possibility to be placed on it. This just changes it from a possibility to indefinite. Typically, what we would do is if we've had an issue with someone over a significant period of time, bring them to court, and if the judge would find them guilty, that would be one of the remedies that he would issue.
And you're in court every time we have it, so we don't really have that many issues, but we do have a few that it's caused us to come to life for one reason.
Yeah, I suspect we probably have 2, maybe 3 landowners that are issues. And, consistent.
Same ones every year, every summer.
So you said that from what I have, it had been amended. And my question was the notification. Is that in the amendment or did you just add this tonight? Is it in what's in effect, not in what I have?
Right. The 2010 amendment provides for that 7 days notice.
Okay.
And what I just changed there was the different methods of notices, just clarify, because we just had 7 days of written notice before.
So you added that placed on a residence or structure on the property.
Right. I think what's in a parenthesis there.
Anything's only good if it's enforced.
Yep.
And that's the only problem that I have is the, you know, if we just take a letter and put it on the property, if nobody's there, then nobody
Well,
gets the
I don't
letter,
think
or
we've
it
done
goes
that.
away. No, he said he just added it.
Okay.
Yeah, typically, I think what we do now is our police department delivers, which also is
You've been delivering all those, haven't you, Monty, or someone within the department?
We go to an extensive depth, try and make sure that we get it into the proper hands. We as much as had one legal issue over one residence as to if this party owns it or this party owns it, and they hadn't resolved it at that particular time, so both of them got served. So whichever one of you ends up legally owning the property has the responsibility of cleaning it up, and it did get cleaned up. But we go into extensive research to try and find the proper owner and the proper people to put it in the right hands.
What this may do is work where you won't have to go to that last step. That's the purpose. Is we don't want to have to put a lien on it. We don't want to have to go clean ourselves. We want them to do it. We want something tight enough to make them want to do it.
But
So
they're not
we
doing
won't have
it
to
as
go
it
there.
is.
Sometimes they don't, but if they know that there might be something more strict done, then maybe they will. And that's the whole purpose of amending is to make sure that we don't have to do it all the way to the last step like that. But we don't want to put a lien on somebody's property, we just want to clean it up. That's the purpose, is that not correct?
Some of the issues come into play when mortgage companies, finance companies and stuff will take over a property and they won't maintain the look of it while it's in their possession. And we've had repeated offenders.
Several problems with that.
Yeah. Sometimes you have a vacant or repossessed home, nobody's there, and the banks or nobody will, I mean, it just doesn't happen. It just sits there. So it's not always, you might can say, because you feel that there will
Let me just mention something. What's happened in the past, we've given them notice to clean the property up. They bring their debris, put it on the side of the road, and call City Hall and want us to come pick it up. Well, that's one issue when you, I mean, if we're gonna clean it up, we might as well clean it up to begin with. You know, if we're still gonna have to go back after them and pick it all up. And it, you know, we're spending a lot of money with a dumpster down there for people to deliver their stuff to us, but we still have to go out and pick some of it up.
You talk about stuff other than limbs and stuff like that, right, Mike?
So we'll tell them we'll come pick it up, give them 2 pickups a year. And then for that, we charge for it. But I mean, they may have a half a dumpster full piled out in front. And we've faced that a time or two already.
The 2 or 3 that we normally would have any problems with, are they they're all residential, or is there commercial?
It's residential.
Albeit
If you
some of
want to
them,
call it.
Yeah.
albeit some of them owned by the mortgage company.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm comfortable with
Well,
the recommendation.
Well, I tell, but the situation that Mike's talking about,
Yeah, it's different, really different.
well, it seems to me, just thinking about it, because some common sense would tell you that if it's in excess, there might need to be some kind of fee. I mean, you said 2 times a year, but it's something within reason. I don't know how you would include it or whatever, but it's, I don't know. But no, I don't have any problem with this right here. This is, we sort of have our hand forced in it. We've got to do something because it's just gone on too long.
Let's just make sure we clean up our stuff.
I agree.
I We got, the city's got stuff around town that's not
I'm
cleaned up.
behind you 100%.
We got to clean our stuff up.
And I think, you know, if the police department, if y'all been delivering these or serving these and certified mail, I'm just not real comfortable with just walking up to the place and sticking something in the door and, you know, saying, right now, I stuck this in the door on this day, and then 7 days later, nothing's been happening. You know, I need somebody to come in here.
Has that been happening? We added it to the ordinance.
Added as a possibility.
I mean, that could be added to the ordinance, but that don't necessarily mean that would be a practice that I would follow here. You know,
But I
with
mean,
years,
it's an option.
yes, but with years of experience with serving papers, the sheriff's department, I have heard numerous excuses of the dog ate my paper, you know, and the wind blew it off, and the rain got on it and ran on it.
You can
So
always.
let's just take it out.
Well,
Can we?
Yeah, we can, I kept it in, put it in there just as a last resort. You know, if it's somebody we can't get a hold of, if we can't find, we can't send anything to, like we had a piece of property that was owned by someone in China, that was a constant issue.
Just for good measure.
Yeah, so I just,
But it's not an option when we don't use that option.
it's not the preferred option, but
No.
it serves another place.
It's an absolute last option.
Mm.
Just, we've had somebody from Mexico move in and take it, and then all of a sudden they up and moved out and left the country with no foreign address. It's been abandoned. A lot of the stamping it on the wall would be for the safety reasons, or just falling in and stuff of that nature.
I don't want to go down the rabbit trail too far, but since he brought it up, how many properties, A, does the city have, and number two, how long would it probably take to clean up those properties?
Not long.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long. We just have a couple that, the old well house buildings need to be something done with. Other than that, and I think Rodney's working on getting a price on closing those wells so we can do some of those buildings.
Okay.
Well, we can cut the brush around and clean them up before we close the well. And the old city park, we can do some stuff to it.
One other thing too, Wade, I mean, where do you draw the line at to say this property needs clean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of property right now
Right.
that probably, I wouldn't consider it look very neat, but some other folks might think, well, there's nothing wrong. I mean, is there gonna be a way to?
I think it's got 12 inches or higher. Like I said, it doesn't happen that often. Most times you tell them to cut it, they'll cut it.
It's not so much the grass as it is everything else.
I know there's, I hate to point out one place, but I know I drove down Academy Drive some, and there's some, Francis has been down there too, there's some places to me that look like they could use a little bit of TLC, you know?
And that's the case most of the time, honestly. Well, what do you want to do?
Well, we already got it. I mean, we just adding something in there that not much different than what we got, just giving us a little bit more.
The only substantive thing is, prior or existing, we have the option of putting a lien on property. Now, it says it's automatic.
I make a motion that we accept the amendment to the
Second.
ordinance of 187.
I'm sorry, thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Okay, thank you. Before we get a motion to adjourn, just got a couple of things to announce. Of course, I want to congratulate the Hamilton Aggies. They'll be playing in the third round this Friday night at Cordova at 7 o'clock, and had an outstanding season, especially the last part of the season, in the third round. And also, this coming Saturday is Santa on the Square. Got this from the Chambers Day. It's from 10 a.m. until noon on the west side of the courthouse. Anybody watching? Children have a chance to visit Santa and share with their visit. Also, Friday night, the downtown merchants are planning on having an open house. Some will be open until 9 o'clock. So if anybody doesn't go to the ball game, maybe they can go to downtown Hamilton Friday night. At this time, when they planned it, probably didn't know that the Aggies would still be in the playoffs, but they will have their open house this coming Friday night until 9. Probably last into Saturday also. Also next week is Thanksgiving, garbage next week. City will be off on Thursday and Friday. So Thursday's garbage will be picked up Wednesday, Friday's garbage will be picked up the following Monday. And Mike and them does an outstanding job getting that. They have to double up on those days, and it's a lot of work trying to double up, especially after a holiday. Also tomorrow at the Bevel Center Edge, you may be aware of this, there's a Department of Human Resources are putting on it's like we did before here at City Hall, preparedness for training for public agencies, local campuses, businesses, faith-based organizations, and members of the general public. In case you had a shooter in the building, active shooter preparedness training, we've already had that here at City Hall, but they're going to have it at Bevel through the Man County DHR. But they've invited it's open to the public, a lot of churches will be there, and it's it is Tuesday, it starts at 1:30. So anybody's welcome to go, and you can contact Kira Vickery at Man County DHR, 921-6000, 921-6000. And I think it's good. This happened to be at a time when all this happened in Paris, but this has been planned for several months, so it'll also be tomorrow. And, I think that's all the announcements I have, unless the council. Okay. We hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving next week, because we won't meet again until first meeting in December, first Monday. Tammy, is the parade that Tuesday after our first meeting? Do you know? Seems like it's like the
Tuesday.
It is a rain date this Saturday.
Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday, 15th? Okay. Okay. We'll announce that at our next council meeting, but the Christmas parade will be Tuesday, 15th. All right. If not, there have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Lynn, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Greg. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, you're adjourned.